Hi, my darlings. I'm Sophie Darling, and welcome back to the channel. If you love anime, heartfelt reactions, and deep dives into symbolism and themes, then you're in the right place. Before we jump into today's reaction, don't forget to hit that like button to show some love, subscribe if you haven't already, and please do ring that notification bell so you never miss a moment of fun. And if you want even more exclusive content like early access to my reactions, full-length anime watch-alongs, and an amazing community of fellow anime lovers, please do check out my Patreon. You can find the link in the description box below. Your support truly means the world as it helps to keep these reactions coming, and I'd love to have you join our cozy little anime family. And today we are reacting to episode 35. So they found the decoy, but they don't yet know that it's a decoy. So imagine that's going to come into effect soon, though maybe Nia already suspects that there's a decoy in place. He has taken Misa out of the picture by essentially arresting her to remove a player from the field to categorically confirm that she is not the second Kira and that Mikami is the second Kira. Aizawa is very suspicious of Light. He's very hot on his trail. He's now been told not to do anything rash or to take action into his own hands. But that notebook thing was so smart, just to confirm for sure that Light was definitely passing notes, because that just reveals that Light is hiding something. Light is passing notes because he doesn't want them to hear what he's communicating, which means he has something to hide, aka he is Kira, because there is no other logical reason for Light to be passing notes, because they are being watched, they are being surveilled. He has created a scenario in which he thinks he can flawlessly pass notes back and forth to reveal what he truly intends to do without suspicion, without realizing. How is this not? This is what shocked me. It's like slipping up because he's getting cocky or egotistical. Or does he genuinely think that nobody would suspect that they were passing notes? I understand that they removed the visuals, so he switched the notebooks, but surely that should have flagged to him that we can't continue to do this. We can't continue to meet. We can't continue to pass notes. The police suspect that I am Kira and they are watching me and they are on my tail. How has that not stressed him out? But how did that not cross his mind to begin with? Did he just think that they wouldn't go to that length, that they would just believe him regardless? Because surely it must have crossed his mind at some point to know that passing notes was not going to be beneficial, that it was going to eventually come out that he was passing notes and that they did have something to hide. Because Light is so much smarter than this, so it just feels kind of silly that he's making stupid little mistakes like this, especially because we've seen Light at the very beginning of Death Note go through all those measures to make sure that nobody had gone into his room, went to great lengths to hide the Death Note, had the pencil in the door frame so if it snapped he knew that someone had come fully in, to this version of Light that hasn't even clocked to the fact that sending notes back and forth would be a dead giveaway that he has something to hide. Maybe it feels like they're rushing to get Light caught by making him make silly mistakes like this, because the Light that we've seen up until this point, I don't think would have dared to pass notes knowing that they're being surveilled, knowing that there's people on the Kira investigation that suspect him of being Kira. Why would he make such an obvious move? It seems like such a stupid mistake to make. And it seems so obvious that somebody would be checking to make sure that pages weren't missing from the notebook, that the indentations they left, that they weren't ripped out or that they weren't exchanged. This just feels like Light has overlooked something really important, and it just doesn't feel consistent with the character that we've had of him up to this point, which is like super mega genius who makes silly mistakes under pressure and when he is backed into a corner. But this isn't that scenario. This just feels like they're rushing to get him caught by making him not think of the consequences of passing notes during an investigation, of not making him think of the logical conclusion of how that would only raise suspicion. Like we know would have taken more precaution, would have been more careful, wouldn't have risked passing notes if he knew that people on the investigation suspected him. And he does know this. So it just feels like a really silly little blunder for him to make. And that's why to me, it just doesn't feel kind of consistent with the Light that we know. And that it's maybe just thrown in there to kind of help wrap up the story quicker. Maybe I'm overthinking it. It just doesn't seem like Light to not have thought through all the possible outcomes that could happen if discovered he was passing notes. And I'm wondering if it's because they're either trying to wrap up the series quickly by having him make stupid mistakes that Light would never usually do, or whether they are showing that Light is at the point now where he thinks that he is uncatchable. He thinks he's above the law. He thinks he's above investigation, above scrutiny, and that he can get away with something like passing notes back and forth under the eye of the surveillance team. So I don't know. It just kind of rubbed me the wrong way a little bit. I was a bit like, that doesn't feel like the Light we know. I guess there's a reason for everything. It just seemed a little inconsistent for me. But without further ado, we're going to get into episode 35. Why have we started with really sad music? Is this going to be a sad episode? Oh no. I feel like something's going to happen. This is like so melancholic. What's going on? Is somebody going to die? Like, is there going to be a big-ish death? Nier is so adorable. He doesn't want his chocolate. What? That's not like you. He's still passing notes. This is what I mean by it feels so inconsistent for Light. Like, bring a separate notebook. He's so cute.
Nier, it's all taken care of. I did exactly as you asked.
Good.
I also have a message for you.
Yes. What is it?
I've confirmed it.
Confirmed what? What have you confirmed?
Text? Oh, it says she wants to see you. Man, I'm so jealous. Huh?
I've done it. That's the sign of confirmation from Mikami. Now all I have to do is wait for Nier to request a meeting face to face. Game over, Nier. I win.
For the past 3 days, he's continued filling out one page every night after midnight, as he usually does. The victims still match up, and there's been no change in Mikami's behavior otherwise.
Well, then let's begin.
He thinks that Nier's gonna call a meeting. Mikami's gonna be there. Mikami's gonna give the name of Nier, and he's gonna be able to take out Nier, right? Because he thinks he's gonna win. Or does he think that they've convinced Nier that Mikami is the actual Kira, and that in this meeting he's gonna play along with Mikami getting arrested and going down and being tried as Kira, and he gets away with it? I don't know. We'll see. I'm confused by what they mean by like confirmed it, but I'm sure the episode will delve into that.
Al,
Yes, this is Al. What is it, Nier?
I want to meet you.
What?
There is something I must show you pertaining to the Kira case.
But don't you suspect me of being Kira?
Mm.
Do you really think it's wise to reveal your face to me?
Furthermore, the very act of showing my face will prove something, and that will bring this case to a close.
If I show my face
Alright,
to you and
fine.
I die, then you're
As far as
Kira.
I'm concerned, the sooner you realize you're wrong about me, the better.
The time has finally come for Nier to prove that Light is Kira. But on the other hand, if that's true, this will be a chance for Light to kill Nier. It all comes down to this.
As I mentioned before, there are a total of 4 members in the SPK. That's including myself. All of us will be there. Besides our team, we'll also bring along Mr. Mogi, who's currently staying with us.
That's an awful depiction
As
of
for Miss
Misa.
Mane, she'll be released right before we meet. She'll not be told where we're going. Is that acceptable?
What do we do?
You've no
Okay,
choice.
Nier, I understand. I have a team of 5 investigators, including myself.
Very well, that's fine. Now, as for our meeting place...
Is Mello gonna be there?
Daikoku Wharf. There's a warehouse on the outskirts of the southeast side that's been abandoned for some time. It's known as the Yellow Box.
Okay.
I've already taken the liberty of purchasing it. One more thing. This meeting cannot take place unless I have your word that someone will bring the notebook.
Huh? Wait, why the notebook?
It's quite simple. If your entire team leaves HQ to meet me, then there'll be no one left behind to guard the notebook. As long as Mr. Aizawa can confirm that it's the genuine notebook, I'm willing to place my faith in you and accept his word.
Genuine notebook. It's like he suspects that the other notebooks are fake.
But I'll be the one who decides
He's
who will hold on to it. Does that
Gonna
sound
have the
fair?
5 pages.
Yes, of course. Then all that's left to arrange is the time and date.
Right. The question is, what time?
Mikami makes his judgments after midnight. He most likely receives a notice in the morning of which people to kill next. If we take his movements into consideration, 3 days from now, on the 28th at 1 p.m.
1 o'clock, huh? That's the exact time I expected him to pick. Nier is obviously aware of Mikami's movements. That's fine by me.
1 o'clock, 3 days from now.
Sure.
Nier.
Light Yagami.
I know exactly what your plan is, and I'm going to win.
I don't know what the plan is. Other than they're both trying to get one over up on the other.
I've already given orders to both Mikami and Takada about what to do. This will be the final order. To kill Nier.
But then that's just going to prove that you're Kiro. You know? Like, that's just going to prove it.
Quick, this way. Are you all right?
Yes.
They're kidnapping
To
her.
get inside NHN now.
Don't do it. Take a look around. It's not safe for her here. Not even inside.
Mello.
It's best if you get her away from here right now. Miss Takada!
This is
get
going to
on.
throw Spanner in Light's plans, isn't it?
Now!
It's okay. You'll be safe with him.
Because he's given her orders. She's now been taken out of the picture.
All right, we've confirmed Miss Takada's safety.
Oh boy.
What the hell?
No, he's taking her!
Stop, you idiot! You can't do that! What if it ends up hitting her?
You're also firing into a crowd of people.
What are you
You
doing?
idiot. Yeah, Mello knows. So Mello, doing his own investigation, has essentially decided to take it upon himself to remove Takada from the picture, which is throwing a spanner into Light's plans, which is making him vulnerable and susceptible to being revealed to be Kiro. In the world of Gods of Death, there are a few copies of what humans may call user guidebook for using the Death Note in the human world. However, the guidebook is not allowed to be delivered to humans. It is perfectly okay for Gods of Death to read the guidebook for him/herself and teach humans about its contents, no matter what the content may be. So kind of like what Rem did with Misa. Like, she kind of taught her things that like no other human really knew about Shinigamis.
As of this moment, both Miss Takada's escort team and the police are hot on the tail.
It's gonna put Light under pressure.
Man, this is really bad.
Is it Nier again?
Nier, you promised that we'd meet in 3 days' time. What's the meaning of making a move like this now? It doesn't
Because
make
it's not
sense.
Nier, it's Mello.
This isn't Nier's style. It's more like...
This is so cool. How are you gonna get out of this?
So those cars got ahead of me, huh? How many damn bodyguards does one woman need anyway?
Hey, come on, give me a break. Since when were the Japanese allowed to carry around such big guns? You got me. I'm part of this whole kidnapping incident. That means you'll have a lot of questions to ask. You won't shoot.
Surely that's illegal.
What an idiot. He probably wouldn't have told us anything anyway. And death is the only way to pay for crimes against Kira.
What the actual fuck?
This man, he's the person that Light warned me to be extra careful of. Mello. Mikhail Kale.
This is literally showing how detrimental society is under Kira. Shoot first, ask questions later.
Take off everything you're wearing and put it all in that box. Hurry up. You can use this blanket.
This is to make sure she's not bugged.
I have to be honest with you on this. We had one of our members escorting Takada, and they confirmed it. Mello was the one who abducted her. I apologize for letting this happen while
She
one of us
participated in it.
Isn't there any way for you to contact Mello?
No, I'm afraid that would be impossible. While I do have a method of getting in touch with him, there's no way he'd respond in the current situation.
It's so funny how their alternative means of investigation eventually align, even though they're not working together. Just getting all a little bit too real. The 5 pages.
Our latest report is that the escort team was forced to shoot one of the perpetrators. They are also still making efforts to track Miss Takada's whereabouts.
They weren't forced.
Get a hold of her?
He had his hands up.
Takada's phone has been turned
He was
off.
surrendering.
Confiscated it. Damn it. I need to get in touch with Takada. With no way of getting a hold of her, all I can do is wait.
I don't think even with the 5 pages she'll kill him. It's not an easy thing to do, to kill someone.
This is the only thing that can be done. If I don't do it...
As for the suspect who was gunned down earlier, we're still not able to identify him. The police are tracking the remaining suspects and are currently questioning...
I never thought you'd be killed. I'm sorry.
Oh, is she doing it? No.
Light's cell phone. Could it be her? Quiet, everyone. Are you all right? The only reason she'd be able to call me like this without getting caught is if she had an opportunity to get away from Mello. Or...
Light, please save me.
First, your location. Do you know where you are?
No, I don't know where I am. I was put into a truck that was locked from the outside. But we were on the freeway, and I caught a glimpse of a sign that said we were heading to Nagano. Right now, I think we're parked inside of a building somewhere.
She's covered in blood. Have they crashed?
We talked about what you should do if a situation like this ever arose. Do you remember that?
I remember. I did what you told me to, Light. I did it.
Yes.
I didn't struggle, even when he stripped me naked. I did exactly as you said. I made survival my first priority, and I did it. I did everything that you told me to. Come quickly. Save me.
Miss Takada. You remember what I told you to do after that, don't you?
She killed him.
I have to do as many killings as possible while I still can. I know. But Light.
Can you do it?
This is what you signed up for.
I can do it.
I don't have any sympathy for you, unfortunately.
Aizawa, Ide, let's get going. Matsuda, you stay here and take care of headquarters.
You got it.
I can't believe she killed him.
It's me. Send me as many names of people to punish as you can. Here's my email address.
Yes. Right, I understand. If Takada is calling me like this, it must mean that she's been able to kill her kidnappers. In which case, the only certainty is that she's in a situation where she can't move.
Poor Mello. Like, I kind of do feel for Mello. I didn't think he'd be killed that easily.
They jumped the gun and got in the front seats without even thinking. This is just too easy.
He's gonna kill them? What the fuck, man? I know that they had his name, but I didn't... Has he killed her?
What the hell is this?
Kiyomi Takada, suicide. January 26th, 2013, 2:32 p.m. Burns to death by setting fire to everything around her, including everything she wrote on.
Oh my fucking god. Jesus Christ. Not what I expected. I didn't know what to expect, but that's not how I thought things were gonna go. Jesus. Maybe he does really like Misa, because fuck, he never did anything like that to Misa. Even now, I'm kind of just like stunned. I get why he's done it. If they found her and she has all this evidence around her, it's going to be very obvious that like she's working with Light, and she also has her phone records of like texts between them, and also with Mikami. So he is clearing all evidence. He's sweeping the deck. But holy, what a horrible way to go. I get that obviously he's done it. Couldn't he have written it that like she sets fire to everything, including all evidence, and then she like dies elsewhere? Like, why did she have to burn to death? Like, that's just such a horrible, grotesque way for someone to die. It's a very brutal death. Very brutal. Fuck. I also didn't expect Mello to die so easily. And I know people are going to say, yeah, but we've had his name for a while, so it made sense that he was inevitably going to die, because the only person whose name we don't have is Nia. But still, I didn't think she'd be able to do it. I didn't think she'd have the guts to. I feel like choosing to kill somebody is harder than it appears. And I just truly didn't think that she would bring herself to do it. I felt like she would maybe like psych herself out of it in the same way that Chief Yagami kind of psyched himself out of it. Shit. I'm in complete and utter shock. God, maybe Misa does survive. I genuinely thought when he was like pulling out the little piece from his watch, he was going to kill Aizawa and Hide. And I was like, wait, why? And I was like, that's just going to make you look 10 times more suspicious. But no, he wants them to be witness to Light having been in the car, going to the crime scene and being in shock at her death and everything being burnt down. Because they didn't see him write anything. He didn't have the notebook. He didn't have any way in their eyes of writing it down. Fuck, that was brutal. I think this was a really good episode. I really liked this episode. It was kind of very intense, very fast paced. There was a lot going on. We got further insight into how society is actually devolving to the point where like shooting someone is seen as the right action because you just presume you're not going to get any information from them. We've gone from a society in Japan where Chief Yagami refused to carry a gun because it was illegal, and he didn't feel comfortable doing so because it's not right for him to carry a weapon, to now having these bodyguards carrying weapons, to not even thinking twice about shooting somebody who is clearly surrendering. Their hands are in the air. They've admitted that they're willing to talk, and you then shoot them dead and just say that it's beneficial to Kira and to do so, that it's part of what Kira would want. So you've gone from like early Japanese society where, yeah, crime is rife, crime does happen, murder does happen. People are still not at risk of being murdered when surrendering, and that there's still an element of peaceful society, to now where crime is getting lower, but then you're putting people in positions of power who are then using Kira as a justification to commit crime. It's now no longer the everyday person committing crimes. They are now holding back. They are the ones that are too scared to commit crimes. But you now have people in higher positions who are using Kira and his will as a justification to commit crimes. So like the power dynamic has shifted. You're allowing some people to commit crimes in Kira's name and others to be too scared to do so. Society has not got any better. In fact, it's got worse because there is no sense of justice. There is no willingness to actually listen. Just shoot first, ask questions later. But oh God, 2 more episodes. 2 more episodes. I'm sorry that these outros have been super short. I really want to see how this ramps up now because they're getting very close to the meeting point. They're getting very close to coming together face to face. I wonder if Melo's death is just going to certify to Nia that Light is Kira, because the only people that knew of his real name would be Chief Yagami, because he destroyed all record of his pictures, all records of his identity, so that Light wouldn't see his face. But now Nia's gonna know that Takada had access to the Death Note. She saw Melo's face because they didn't know that she would have the ability to kill him, and she was able to do what Light couldn't do. Fuck. I think this is just gonna certify to Nia that Light is Kira, because yes, Light wasn't the one to kill Melo because he never actually saw Melo's face, so he didn't know. He could only give him a sketch, but it, I guess, doesn't count because his features have changed since the explosion. So I imagine because the sketch isn't actually accurate, that it doesn't matter. Light still couldn't have killed him. He needs to actually see him and envision his features in order for the death to be effective. She was able to do what Light couldn't do. Maybe that was all part of his greater plan, but he could never have known that she was going to be kidnapped by Melo. How could he have predicted that? He couldn't have predicted that. I don't know. I'm going to have to watch the next episode now. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this react, please consider liking, subscribing, and leaving a comment below to help boost this video into the algorithm. And until next episode, bye!